Everything you have ever been told about blackheads is wrong, and the wrong things are exactly what keep them coming back. You were taught to scrub harder, to strip the oil, to rip them out with strips, to squeeze them in the mirror, and every single one of those things makes blackheads worse, not better, which is precisely why you have been fighting the same ones on the same nose for years. There is a $4 system, built from a handful of cheap things you can mix in your own kitchen, that genuinely works on blackheads at the source, and Big Beauty has every reason in the world to keep it quiet, because the entire blackhead industry is built on selling you products that never fix the problem, so you have to keep buying them forever. Today, I am giving you the whole system, 5 simple homemade methods that actually do something. But stay with me, because the ingredients are only half of it, and the real reason blackheads keep coming back is something the pore strip aisle will never tell you. Let me start by destroying the single biggest lie, because until it is gone, you will keep sabotaging yourself. Blackheads are not dirt. I will say that again, because it changes everything. The black in a blackhead is not trapped dirt, and it is not a sign that your face is unclean. A blackhead is what dermatologists call an open comedone, a pore that has become clogged with a mix of your own natural oil and dead skin cells. The pore stays open at the top, and when that plug of oil and dead skin meets the air, it oxidizes and turns dark, the exact same way a sliced apple turns brown on the counter. That dark dot is oxidized oil, not grime. Which means the entire war you have been waging, the harsh scrubbing, the squeaky clean stripping, the daily aggression, was aimed at the wrong enemy the whole time. You cannot scrub away a problem that is forming inside the pore. And worse, when you strip and scrub, you damage your skin barrier, your skin panics and produces even more oil to compensate, and that extra oil gives you even more blackheads. You have been feeding the very thing you were trying to kill. And this misunderstanding is enormously profitable, which is exactly why it is never corrected. Think about what the blackhead aisle actually sells you. Pore strips that rip the dark tops off and leave the pore wide open to refill within days. Scrubs that irritate. Charcoal masks that peel. Pore vacuums. Endless cleansers that strip your face raw. Every one of those treats the symptom, the dark dot on the surface, and not one addresses the cause, the plug forming inside the pore. So the blackheads always come back, and you always come back to the store, and the cycle never ends, because it was never designed to end. A few cheap ingredients that actually clear the inside of the pore, control the oil, and calm the skin are the last thing that aisle wants in your bathroom, because they would empty their shelf. So here is the system, 5 gentle homemade methods, and I am going to give you each one exactly what goes in it and exactly what it does, because each targets a different piece of the problem. But remember what I said, the ingredients are only half of it, and at the end I will give you the other half, the part that turns clearing into staying clear, because without it, you will just be doing this forever. Method 1 is the core blackhead treatment, the one that does the real work, and it is a combination of Fuller's Earth and a salicylic acid face wash. You take about 1 spoon of Fuller's Earth, which is the clay your grandmother knew, add a pea-sized amount of a simple salicylic acid face wash and a little water, and mix it into a smooth paste that you smooth over the oily, blackhead-prone areas, leave for a few minutes, and rinse. Here is why this is the heart of the whole system. The salicylic acid is the single most effective thing in all of skincare for blackheads, and the reason is one property. It is oil soluble. Because it dissolves in oil, it travels down into the pore, through the oily plug, and dissolves that plug from the inside, reaching what no scrub or strip ever can. And the Fuller's Earth, the clay, draws out and absorbs the excess oil sitting on and in the skin, the very oil that feeds the plugs. One ingredient clears the pore from within, the other soaks up the fuel. That is why this combination is the famous one for oily, blackhead-prone skin, and it costs almost nothing. Method 2 adds gentle exfoliation and brightening, and it is plain yogurt with turmeric. You take about 1 spoon of plain yogurt, the simple unsweetened kind, add a small pinch of turmeric, mix, apply for a few minutes, and rinse. The yogurt is not just food here. It naturally contains lactic acid, a gentle exfoliating acid that loosens the dead skin cells sitting on the surface, the same dead cells that combine with oil to clog your pores in the first place, so it gently keeps the surface clear without any harsh scrubbing. And the turmeric brings a brightening, calming quality that has been used in this part of the world for centuries to even out the tone and the dullness that blackhead-prone skin often carries. Use only a tiny pinch of turmeric, because too much can temporarily tint the skin, and that is the only catch with an otherwise gentle, soothing little mask. Method 3 is the one for the redness and the dark marks, and it is aloe vera gel with a niacinamide serum. You take about 1 spoon of aloe vera gel, add 2 or 3 drops of a niacinamide serum, mix, and press it gently into the skin. This one is less a mask and more a treatment, and it is clever because niacinamide is one of the genuinely proven ingredients for this kind of skin. It helps regulate how much oil your skin produces, and less excess oil means fewer clogged pores forming in the first place, so it works on the cause, not just the surface. It also fades the dark marks and spots that old blackheads and breakouts leave behind, and calms redness and irritation. The aloe vera carries it in on a cushion of soothing hydration, cooling and calming skin that the rest of the routine is working hard on. This is your repair and calm step, the one that addresses the aftermath while quietly preventing the next round. Method 4 is the oil-absorbing pore refining mask, and it is green tea with clay. You brew a cup of green tea, let it go completely cold, and mix enough of that cold tea with Fuller's Earth or kaolin clay to make a smooth paste. Apply. Let it sit until it is almost dry and rinse. The clay does what clay does. It pulls the excess oil out of the skin. And the cold green tea adds 2 things. It is rich in antioxidants that defend the skin against the daily damage that worsens its texture, and the coolness itself tightens and refreshes the skin, which is where the pore tightening feeling comes from. This is your weekly deep clean and tighten mask, the one that leaves the skin looking refined and matte and the pores looking smaller, and I will be honest about that word smaller in a moment. Method 5 is the gentlest one, the soothing exfoliating mask for when your skin needs calming rather than treating, and it is oatmeal with aloe vera gel. You take a spoon of finely ground oats, mix it with about a spoon of aloe vera gel into a soft paste, massage it very gently over the skin, and rinse. The ground oats are a beautifully gentle exfoliant, soft enough to sweep away dead surface skin without the tiny tears that gritty walnut and apricot scrubs cause. And oats are naturally soothing and barrier-loving on top of that. The aloe calms and hydrates. This is the mask you reach for when your skin feels irritated, sensitive, or overworked, because it gently keeps the surface clear while repairing the barrier, which, as you are about to learn, is the thing that quietly decides whether your blackheads ever truly go away. And I want you to notice something about these 5 methods, because it is the reason they work where the harsh tricks fail. None of them is random folk magic. Everyone is built on an active with genuine science behind it. Salicylic acid is the single most dermatologist recommended ingredient for blackheads on Earth. Niacinamide is one of the best studied ingredients for regulating oil and fading marks. The lactic acid in yogurt is a real, gentle exfoliating acid used in professional products. Colloidal oats, the ground oats in the soothing mask, are an actual recognized skin-soothing ingredient that turns up in barrier repair products at the pharmacy. The polyphenols in green tea are well-documented antioxidants, and clay has been pulling oil out of skin for thousands of years. The industry took every one of these, isolated it, put it in a beautiful bottle, and sold it back to you at 10 times the price, hoping you would never realize you could combine the originals at home for almost nothing. That is the whole trick. The science is real. It was just priced out of your reach on purpose. Now here is the other half I promised you, the part that turns all of this from clearing to staying clear. And it is the part the pore strip aisle will never tell you, because it does not sell anything. It is 2 things you have to stop, and 1 thing you must never do to your skin. The first thing to stop is squeezing and picking. I know how satisfying the mirror makes it feel, but when you squeeze a blackhead, you force bacteria and debris deeper into the pore. You inflame and damage the surrounding skin. You can turn a harmless blackhead into a scarring breakout, and you stretch the pore so it looks bigger and clogs more easily next time. The second thing to stop is the pore strip and every aggressive ripping trick like it, because it tears the oxidized top off and leaves the deeper plug and the open pore behind to refill within days, while irritating the skin around it. You are not removing the problem, you are giving it a fresh start. And the one thing you must never do, the mistake almost everyone with oily, blackhead-prone skin gets backwards, is strip your skin in the war on oil. When you scrub and wash your face raw until it feels tight and squeaky, you damage the barrier, and your skin responds by pumping out even more oil to defend itself, which gives you more blackheads, which makes you strip harder, which makes more oil. Stripping is the engine of the whole problem. This is exactly why the soothing, barrier-loving methods in this system matter as much as the clearing ones, and why every mask here is gentle and followed by calm rather than aggression. The single most counterintuitive truth in this entire video is that the way to win against oil is to stop declaring war on it. So here is how you actually run the system, because a pile of recipes with no rhythm is useless. These masks are not all at once and not all day. You use the Fuller's Earth and salicylic acid method, your core treatment, 2 or 3 times a week on the oily zones. You rotate the green tea and clay mask in as your weekly deep clean. The yogurt and turmeric and the oatmeal and aloe you use as gentle exfoliating or soothing masks once or twice a week, depending on what your skin needs that week. And the aloe and niacinamide you can use more regularly, even daily, as your calming, oil-regulating, mark-fading step, because it is the lightest of all. On the days in between, you simply cleanse gently, never to that tight, squeaky feeling. Follow with a light, oil-free moisturizer, and in the morning, without exception, wear sunscreen. Because the acids in this system make skin more sun-sensitive, and the sun worsens both pores and marks over time. Patch test anything new on your jaw for a couple of nights first, especially the turmeric, and never leave clay masks on until they are cracking and painfully dry, because over-drying triggers the exact rebound oil you are trying to prevent. Gentle, consistent, rotated, that is the whole rhythm. And please, while we are talking about cheap homemade fixes, do not confuse this gentle, sensible system with the genuinely harmful kitchen tricks all over the internet. Do not put baking soda on your face, which is far too alkaline and wrecks the barrier. Do not use lemon juice, which is irritating and makes the skin dangerously sun-sensitive. Do not use toothpaste, which is for teeth. Cheap and homemade does not mean reckless. The methods I gave you are gentle, balanced, and kind to the barrier, which is exactly what makes them work where the harsh stuff fails. Here is what to honestly expect, so you do not quit at the wrong moment, because the timeline is exactly where most people give up. In the first week or two, the clay and salicylic acid methods will start visibly clearing the blackheads you already have and leaving the skin looking cleaner and more matte, so you do get an early, encouraging result. But the deeper change, the part where new blackheads simply stop filling back in the way they always used to, works on the timeline of your skin's natural renewal cycle, which is several weeks, so the real difference usually shows up somewhere around the 6 to 8 week mark of gentle, consistent use. The marks and dullness fade more slowly still, over a couple of months, as the niacinamide and the gentle exfoliation do their patient work. So take a photo of your skin today in natural light, and another every couple of weeks, because the change is gradual, and your own daily eye will miss exactly what the camera catches. The early cleanup is quick and satisfying. The lasting clarity is slow, quiet, and worth far more. Let me be honest with you though, because the truth serves you better than the hype. And a couple of words in this video need a footnote. The first is forever. This system genuinely clears blackheads and, with the oil regulating and gentle exfoliating steps, helps stop new ones from forming. And that is a real visible difference. But your pores will keep producing oil for the rest of your life, because that is what healthy skin does. So staying clear is a simple maintenance rhythm you keep, not a one-time cure. The day you stop, the oil and dead skin slowly begin clogging again, the same way a lawn grows back if you stop mowing. The second word is tightening. These masks make your pores look dramatically smaller because a clean, oil-free, cooled pore is far less visible than a plugged, stretched, oxidized one, but you cannot permanently change the actual size of your pores, which is largely genetic. And one more honest note, If what you have is not simple blackheads but severe, painful, cystic acne, that is a job for an actual dermatologist, not a homemade mask. The honesty is the whole point, because the people selling you strips and vacuums will never tell you the cheap, gentle, slightly boring truth. Here's what I really want you to take from all of this, because it is bigger than blackheads. The entire blackhead industry runs on a misunderstanding it has every reason never to correct, that blackheads are dirt you can scrub or rip away when they are actually oil and dead skin forming inside the pore, which only the right gentle ingredients can clear, control, and calm. They sell you the dramatic, satisfying symptom treatments, the strips you peel and the masks you pull off and the vacuums you watch work, precisely because they do not last. And a treatment that does not last is a customer for life. The handful of cheap things in your kitchen and on the bottom shelf are quiet and undramatic, and they actually work on the cause, which is exactly why you were never pointed toward them. Your blackheads were never a hygiene failure, and they were never going to be solved by trying harder with the wrong tools. They were a simple, fixable, biological process that nobody ever explained to you honestly until now. So this week, before you buy another box of strips, mix up the Fuller's Earth and salicylic acid, rotate in the green tea, the yogurt, the oats, and the aloe. Keep your hands off your face and stop stripping the oil you were never supposed to be at war with. Give it a few weeks of gentle consistency before you judge it, because clear skin builds on the timeline of your skin's natural cycle, not overnight. And watch the same blackheads you have been fighting on the same nose for years finally, quietly, stop coming back. They were never unbeatable. You were just handed the wrong weapons, on purpose. Tell me in the comments how many years you have been fighting the exact same blackheads with strips and scrubs that never worked, because I think the number is going to surprise a lot of people, including you. And if this is the kind of straight talk that saves your skin and your money at the same time, the Beauty Armor is exactly where I keep it coming, week after week. 5 cheap things from your kitchen and the bottom shelf, used gently and consistently. And the one truth the pore strip aisle spent decades hoping you would never learn. It was never dirt, and it was never your fault.